Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why is because I genuinely care about my clients, every single one of them who comes into my coaching. I also record for my channel, and I'm going to address a couple of things in just a bit. I'm very generous with my time, with my channel and my clients alike. Nobody spends that much time on their clients. This is true story. Usually you get a coach of the internet who spends an hour a week with you. If you get them on the Zoom, consider yourself lucky. I don't consider that to be proper coaching because to me, a coach really needs to take notes about a person, really get to know them. Talking on Zoom for an hour doesn't really solve much. Yes, maybe they can give you some advice, but for me, my coaching is unlike any other coaching. That's another reason that I excel in what I do here, is because I really want to get to know every single person that comes into my coaching, and I do a tremendously thorough job. This is why I recommend 2 to 3 times a month, in coaching with me, because I start with childhood all the way till today. Why is that important? It's because I really want to understand the kinds of beliefs that you have inherited from your experience, from your parents, guardian, what have you, your siblings, other relationships that you've been in, etc., etc. All of this history is like a library that you are kind of like making references to all the time. These are your beliefs, these are your expectations, these are your feelings, these are your projections into the future. This is how you feel right now. So we cannot go into manifestation, okay, without addressing what we're dealing with today. Okay, I gave you this analogy and people think it's gross, and it is, but I really mean to gross you out on purpose. It's because it's kind of like putting, a really delicious, oh my God, I can't talk, jar of jam. I'm so passion is coming out of my ears. It's like putting a really delicious jar of jam on top of a pile of shit and pretend that you're achieving something delicious. You can't do that. You really need to address your beliefs. You really need to address what you've lived thus far. Reconstruct it, reprogram it, rebuild it, create a new person for yourself, which you will start working on becoming, and then address manifestation. You cannot do it backwards. It's stupid, it's ridiculous, and it's unrealistic. Okay, so if you're really serious about creating a new life for yourself, you yourself have to become a brand new person. So this is why 2 to 3 months minimum in my coaching is recommended, because I go through your history, we do some exercises, different people, different exercises, we do a bunch of different other things, but essentially this is what's needed. Okay. All the information from me is below. It's best to pre-book because I have like 25 clients in my coaching. It's constant changeover. Somebody's concluding their coaching, somebody's coming in. So for you to be next in line, you really need to pre-book. Okay, cannot stress this enough. Really need to pre-book. Now, before I'm going to address a couple of things that people commented on my channel. I really would like to say that for those of you, right, so who comment with questions, okay, I do recommend that you book me for an hour, okay, and really spend the hour with me discussing what it is you would like to address in coaching. And to really kind of understand that I am your kind of coach. This is also really important. I mean, I go on the assumption that you've watched more than one video of mine and this and that. But I really recommend to, just as a beginning, instead of asking me personal questions in the comments that there is no way for me to answer. There just is no way. I'm not being, difficult or anything like that. I don't know you. I don't know anything about your history. I don't know how to answer these questions in an educated way. Okay, so please, I understand you want your questions answered, but you can book me for an hour on my website. It's available. and we can discuss. Okay, it's not going to be coaching. Don't look for the entire solution to come in 1 hour. That's unrealistic. Okay, you will need to ultimately get into my coaching, but if you'd like to discuss something with me, you can book me for an hour. Now, for the month of October, this is what I was going to discuss. This will not be on my website. This is for the lucky ones that actually listen to my intro. Okay, and don't complain about it, because here is your reward. Okay, for the month of October, I will offer a 30-minute consultation for $100. Okay, you cannot do this through my website. You will need to use Cash App or Zelle. Okay, those are your only two choices, and maybe Venmo. I need to include the Venmo link. I think it's already there. Anyway, so if you need to ask me something and it's a question that we can discuss in 30 minutes, wonderful. And send me the Cash App or the Zelle, email me with the confirmation, and we can get on the phone whenever, we can both get on the phone. If you'll need more time and you realize that you need more time in the middle of a conversation, you can send the rest of the $100 for the hour, and we'll continue on. But here I am. I'm once again making it as easy as possible for you to get the most out of me as a coach. And so I'm offering you 30 minutes for $100, okay? Again, this is not available on my website. Now, there was a person, and I'm going to make this quick because I don't really want to spend much time on this, who commented that he or she unsubscribed because I push coaching on people. First of all, I never have to push coaching on anybody. I have more than enough clients. Okay, that has never been my fucking problem. I offer a service, I advertise it, of course. Otherwise, how the fuck people would know? And also, people like these and he or she commented like, there's a lot of information out there, so no need to pay thousands of dollars. Oh, really? Okay. So, right. So this is why most, like 95% of the people are walking around frustrated because there's so much information and you don't need to spend any money on self-development, right? Okay, this is so stupid, it's beyond. This person is shaming me for offering a service for those people who actually want to spend time in coaching, because there are many people, like I talk about in so many different ways, that do watch all these videos out there and still don't get it, because it's impossible to watch videos about general statements and actually have a profound transformation in your life. You know why? It's a very simple reason, because those videos don't address your history, don't address you personally. It's so simple. And by the way, like I said, I record so many audios from my channel that, quite frankly, I don't know what this person was shaming me for, other than being, like a public servant and providing all these audios for you guys for free. And those who want to come into coaching, I advertise that. The end. If it seems to me that people are frustrated that they I don't know, maybe can't afford it, but that's not my issue. It's not my problem. If you can't afford something, you can't afford something. I have different kinds of situations on my website. If you can't do the full coaching, but then don't come and tell me that I don't do enough for you to get the benefit of what I'm trying to do here. Yes, the ultimate way to do coaching is to stay with me 2 to 3 months. I would be a liar if I told you otherwise. Okay, I could be like all these other idiots, manifestation coaches, they're call themselves, who tell you, oh yeah, try this technique, try that technique, and this and that, and you'll be fine. Well, you won't be fine. It's a lie, and I'd rather tell the truth. So thank you very much to all the people who have been supportive of me. Black Wall and Streets 7054, thank you for your comment. Who else here? Dory 1991, and also Christina Teodoro 5808. Okay, I really appreciate your support. Not that I need to defend myself, but I think it's more than one person who has this opinion. And parenthesis here, I don't even charge that much as other coaches do. So I don't know what this person's problem is. All right, the subject of today is the power of switching realities. So we talk about parallel realities all day long on this channel. And by the way, if you're new, please subscribe. Don't just listen. You'll learn a lot on this channel, more so than anywhere else. This is the fundamental principle of reality, okay? Parallel realities, parallel worlds. And so if you find yourself in a shitty situation, whether that's your SP or your money situation, your career, or anything at all, a different kind of relationship, not romantic perhaps, even if it's a dire situation, especially if it's a dire situation, especially if it's urgent, especially if it's like right now, right here, I need to do something. You have the power. You're powerful enough to switch realities, right? You always already are switching realities. The way to do it on purpose, though, in a noticeable way, is when you understand how this reality actually works. So every day you get up in the morning, you go to sleep at night, do your things throughout the day. But the thing is, you don't really pay attention because it's just obvious and natural that you're going to do this, you're going to eat your breakfast, you're going to watch my videos on YouTube and and go through your situations, and you don't really think about it. But if you find yourself in a situation where you really want a change, you really want to manifest a profound change at that, you are powerful enough to switch realities in a noticeable way. Okay, because you're powerful enough to do anything, basically. So if you're powerful enough to switch realities on purpose, you're powerful enough to do anything. How do you do it? Okay, first of all, it may be challenging for a lot of people, but this, if you can manage to really master this for the rest of your life, you will become completely unbeatable at this manifestational game for the rest of your life. Now, parenthesis here, of course, I always have to insert this, and the reason I insert it is, yes, to explain that this situation cannot happen unless you've worked on your beliefs. And the reason I always say this is because I do not want to mislead people into thinking, oh yeah, just like, don't work on yourself, but just do this, and maybe you won't be able to accomplish a result, and then you're going to be upset with yourself. This is why I always include, you have to have the work on your beliefs done, at least in the process of it. And this is why I offer coaching. Okay. So if you have the work on your beliefs done and you can actually believe that you can do this, you can do this in a split second, in a matter of hours, in a matter of days, okay? If you find yourself in a situation where something is not to your liking, again, whether that's SP, money, it is challenging, but you can do it. You have to shift yourself into a noticeably different reality. And the way you do it is acknowledging, first of all, that you're in the reality of not your preference. And a decision has to be taken where you'd like to transfer to. Okay, so let's just say, for example, you wanted to attract a certain amount of money really quick. You want to hear from somebody in a very short period of time. You want to manifest a result that you have been waiting for. Okay, your vibration needs to rise for this to happen. And by that, I really mean you really need to get yourself in a state in which would be coherent with that manifestation. So if you had the sum of money, if you heard from this person, if you were, if those circumstances were right here, right now, can you allow yourself to go there for like 5-10 minutes and experience that world? Because it's available right here, right now, not even a millimeter away. It's a separate world, looks just like this, with a slight change of circumstances, with a slight change of the things that you really want. And I really do mean slight, because as much as you, kind of like glorify your desire, it's just one little desire. The desire that you have is not that big of a deal, in other words, okay? And so if you're able to feel this world and color this feeling overlay this feeling of having this manifestation over your world right now, and start tuning into this vibration, start tuning into this world, and really feel like, oh, wonderful, here I am. It's a feeling of relief. It's a feeling of love for your desire. It's a feeling of elation. It's a feeling of ecstasy. It's a feeling of love. It's a feeling of like, oh my goodness, this is so wonderful. It's magical and miraculous. I was so worried 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, and now I'm not worried at all, but at all, because I get to feel my desire. I get to embody my desire. And even though I don't see it right now, right here, I know what it feels like. I've experienced similar things before. Okay, I know what it's like to talk to this person. I know what it's like to receive unexpected money. And if you don't, then try to remember a time when you did receive some money. Maybe not that sum, but some money. Okay. In other words, you know what the feeling is of receiving money, don't you? Yes, at some point you received money. And so now you're basking in this feeling. You're basking in the feeling of receiving that message. You're basking in the kind of like a knowing, almost like, yeah, I know what it's like to be there, and just stay there for some time. You don't have to do it all day long, but just start entering this world through this portal of vibration. There's no other way for me to explain this. This is the parallel reality you want to go into. And you'll notice that even if you spend like 5-10 minutes in that feeling, in that vibration, the problematic vibration and the angst and the worry and this and that will start to dissipate. Maybe you can extend this feeling for another 5 minutes and another 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden you find yourself like fully encompassed by this feeling. And now you feel totally different. You feel like, this is it. I entered this parallel reality. I'm here. And again, although nothing tells me that this is true on the outside, something changed in the air. Something changed in the feeling of me. I'm breathing differently with a lightness. I'm feeling encouraged. I'm feeling elevated, and now I can do anything. I can attract anything from this high altitude. I can attract anything. Make it easy, right? Whenever I had a situation that I really wanted to change, I have this in my office, and it's one of my sayings or affirmations, people like to call them, but it's just a saying, I would say. Play and pretend. And, if you, don't even begin to believe manifestation, this will be hard for you to hear. But play and pretend is the most powerful, magical, anything that you can do in a dire situation. So you're presented with a situation and you disregard it entirely. Because the 3D is your bitch, and you know that if you start playing and pretending like something else is happening, it will happen. Oh, it will happen, no problem. The idea is to allow yourself to go there. In your imagination, in your feeling, in the acceptance that this reality can come over here and fully encompass you, like I said. If you can imagine it with senses, if you can imagine what that looks like, what that feels like, what you are going to be seeing, the kinds of situations you're going to be entering to, and you make it easy. It is not a chore. It's not like, oh, I have to go chase something or I have to make this happen. No, you're in the middle of the universe that you orchestrate all day long through your feelings. And instead of running around and trying to kind of concoct situations and manipulate, you can just direct the entire universe and the world through your feelings. Through the way that you feel, you can change the entire shebang in 5-10 minutes, a half hour. Okay? And all of a sudden, you will see a small manifestation, a different answer, a person is going to turn around and say something completely different to you. Suddenly you're getting money. Suddenly people are reaching out to you that you want to have reach out. Because remember, if you're stuck, quote unquote, and if you're not getting this response, not getting the money, whatever it is you're waiting for, you yourself are preventing yourself from going there. Now, why that is, I don't know. Again, your beliefs, the kinds of blockages that you've got, and all this jazz. Now, I can't answer this without coaching you. So to a reasonable person, that's self-explanatory. I never thought that I needed to explain that, but here I am. And so when you stop worrying about and stop validating the 3D, or stop validating the problem, and you start really going there in your feeling and really embracing that new world, it just comes to you. You don't need to chase anything. You don't need to implore or beg or, watch 300 million videos. You really just need to learn yourself. This is the entire shebang of manifestation. May I tell you something? If you learn who you are, if you learn the kind of beliefs that you have and where it is that you need to work on certain things, everybody's different. Everybody has their own thing. If you really learn yourself and how to operate, because nobody's perfect, on some days, yeah, you will fall off the wagon. Oh, what else is new? Everybody's fucking human. But it's the way that you get back on the wagon at any given moment, right? Without residing days and months and years there. This is the entire shebang. If you get yourself into this feeling, into this position of creating miracles, quote unquote, overnight or in one day, that's the whole thing. You don't need to worry. You don't need to chase. You don't need to reside in that lower frequency situation. Don't wait for things to happen from this lower frequency. It ain't going to happen, my darling. Just not. Okay? So when people talk about time and how much time has passed, and I've been waiting for my SP for so long, haven't heard from them for so long, and this and that and the other, or the money or whatever it is, or I need the money like tomorrow or the next week, and no. It isn't about the time. It's about vibration. If you get into the right vibration, things will happen so fast your head will spin. True story. It can turn around on like in one day. I've done these situations. And those of you in my coaching, some of the things I share on my channel, but when you are in my coaching, I share a lot more personal things that, quite frankly, I don't really feel comfortable sharing on the internet because I really don't feel comfortable. The end. When I know somebody in my coaching, then I can share things that I really want to share. But essentially, the way you do manifest miracles is by changing your vibration, but having a different expectation. In that moment in time, making a decision, no, this is how it goes. Right? I had lawyers talk to me and say to me, Anna, it's not going to happen. It's going to go like this and like that. In one ear and out the other it went. And I said to myself, I didn't argue with them or anything. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then to myself, once I hung up the phone with them, I said, no, this is how it's going to go, and this is how it's going to go. And do you know, within like 3 hours later, on one given day, this lawyer called me back and said, oh yeah, by the way, it went like this. No, you don't say so. No, I'm not going to explain to people, what I just did. It's a waste of fucking time. And I really don't like interacting with people who don't believe in manifestation, but that's another thing for another time. But the thing is, the most important thing is that you got your result. Many different situations like that happened in my life where the quote unquote miracle came in one day, came in a week, came overnight, this and that, simply by me disregarding what I'm looking at right now, making a decision and entering that world. Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be wonderful? Wouldn't it be amazing if this and this and this happened? Everything on the surface or in the 3D, okay, tells me otherwise. But you know what? Me, myself, personally, I get off on when things look completely diametrically opposed and I get to turn that shit around. For me, I mean, honestly, that's the most fucking fun because everybody's looking at what I'm doing and I just create magic in my mind and they look at me like, how the fuck did you do this right now? Get into my coaching and I'll explain it to you. I'm just gonna poke at this person who got mad at me for the rest of my life. I think people like that. I mean, just like so. If somebody's pissed off, they're not getting results right in their life. I think this is the only reason that they would like go off on somebody who's trying to do something good for people. I mean, honestly, this is the only reason I started this channel is because I really wanted to help people. No other reason, okay? And of course, I don't work for free. Duh. I wouldn't expect that of my clients. I encourage my clients to ask big. Like, do you think I'm going to, like, what am I, Mother Teresa? No, I'm going to work for a certain amount of money. And again, I don't charge what I charge outside YouTube. I made a point of it. And to get such a comment is just like, are you joking right now? Seriously though, are you fucking kidding me? And lastly, I will close with this, okay? When you made the decision, when you decided on the feeling and what that feels like and how you are feeling having that manifestation, you have to be stubborn like a motherfucking donkey. Okay, you guys know this expression from my channel. You have to be relentless. You have to be on purpose. You have to be a savage. You have to be the universal power. Let me say this again. Be stubborn, be relentless, be on purpose, be a savage, be the universal power. In other words, you are God. Decide on what you want and stick to it. Like a bulldog, not letting go of some kind of like thing that you really want. You have to like completely fuse with that reality and stay there and stay there. Everything else turning to shit, stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. And if you really know that your vibration within your body, your understanding, your decision, your consciousness is way more powerful than any fucking 3D shit that you see right now, you will overpower it and things will begin to shift in your favor completely. You have to know that this thing is coming. This is why when somebody in the 3D or anything in the 3D shows you something different, you have to laugh at it. You have to not take it seriously. You have to say, okay, yeah, whatever. You don't know what I created. Nobody knows what I have on my mind right now. Nobody knows what I did in my mind. But you will see it soon enough, and then, we'll compare notes, how real you are and how really everything I create is what the reality is. My imagination is the reality. My decision is the reality. My purpose is, my decisions, my purpose, and me being completely fused with that new reality is what the actual reality is. You need to remember what commanding is. You need to stop taking cue from the 3D. If you did, don't beat yourself up. Don't do these things. Just decide, start commanding, and start being on purpose. And your reality will reflect it in the very near future. All the information from me is below. If you need to reach out to me, the email is also below. The two most popular packages of coaching, the unlimited audio and the phone sessions are also, the links are below. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.